Problem number one, we're given that the position of a particle is defined by this equation. We'd like to find in number one the velocity and number two the acceleration. We just need to differentiate. V of t, the velocity, is d dt of s of t. When you differentiate that, 2 derivative of the sine is the cosine, plus, and this is still with an I in this direction, plus we have 4 cosine. Well, derivative of the cosine is minus the sine, make this a minus over here, minus 4 times the sine of t, and that's in the j direction. Well, let's pick up problem number 2 at the same time. The acceleration is obtained by taking the derivative of time of the velocity. So we differentiate this. We have derivative of cosine is minus the sine. We have minus 2 sine t in the I direction. And if we differentiate this over here, we have minus 4 times the cosine of t in the j direction. Now, problem number 1 requires us to take this expression for v of t and evaluate this when t is equal to 4 radians. So v at 4 radians becomes 2 cosine of 4 radians in the I direction minus 4 times the sine of 4 radians in the j direction. If we look it up on the calculator, we find that the 2 cosine of 4 radians gives us 1.31. 1.31 with a minus sign. This is roughly about 235 degrees or so, which has a negative value for a cosine. And this is in the I direction. And if we evaluate the 4 sine 4, we have a minus. This is this minus, and then this turns to be minus 3.03 in the j direction. So these are at right angles to each other, so that the magnitude of v at 4 is obtained by taking the square root of the sum of the squares of the minus 1.31 squared plus minus 3.03 squared. Gives you a result for the velocity, a magnitude of 3.3. Now, problem number 2 says, let's take this result we had up here and evaluate the acceleration when t takes on a value of pi. Now, that means that a, when we put pi in here every place, we get a of pi is equal to, now let's create some space over here by taking this out. We're finished with this. I'll put it over here, 3.3. We have up here minus 2 times the sine of pi, that's in the I direction, minus 4 times the cosine of pi, that's in the j direction. And the sine of pi is equal to 0. And the cosine of pi is equal to minus 1. So we have minus 4 times a minus 1 in the j direction. And so this will give us a result of simply 4 for a magnitude. So if you want to find the magnitude of a of pi, magnitude a at pi is equal to 4. That's acceleration.